Hi everybody. Today we're going to be making these tortoise shell nails using Color Street's Show and Shell, Sahara Jewel, and Midnight in Manhattan. Now I started by putting a base coat on my thumb, middle, and ring finger of the Midnight in Manhattan because I'm going to do it exactly like I did this hand. So let's start with the thumb, and the first thing we're going to do is take our show and shell. I'm going to put paper under here. We're going to grab a Q-tip and a brown Sharpie. And, I'm going to take that first layer off. And I'm going to very quickly color this. Doesn't have to be pretty because while it's still wet, you want to take your Q-tip and come in, rub, 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 rub. Like that. Now, if you have a spot that's a little blotchy, you can come back in. That'll wear it, rub it back off. If it's too dark, come in here, rub, 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 and you can get that. Now, you may be happy with that. If you want it to have a little bit more of that orangey tortoise shell, I kind of go around the black spots with an orange. Rub. And then back with my brown, because I don't want too much orange. I'm not a big fan of the color orange. So I'm going to go back in and rub. That also blends any hard edges. So now that I've got that, I'm going to close my markers. Move my back in here. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this in half. Like this. Then we're going to peel it off the tab. So you've got two pieces. Now put them back to back for the pattern that I'm doing here. Then I'm going to just cut an angle and cut those two pieces off. So I've got two pieces like this. Now I'm going to use my Sahara Jewel. I'm going to cut it in half. Like this. And I'm going to stick these down onto the Sahara Jewel. So then I have just an edge on a sparkly edge. So I have a little shimmer to my manicure. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. This is the piece for the thumb. Okay. So again, we're going to carefully place this down. I have my granddaughter here, so you might hear her in the background being cute. Okay, we'll smooth that down. Now it's a little thicker on this side than I have on this side, so I'm going to trim that a little more. So they'll match. We're going to cut off that piece, but leave, again, a small edge for the shimmer. And we're going to do the same on this one. So now we've got these two pieces and we're ready to put them on our thumb. Now the most important part of this design is getting the middle straight so it doesn't look like it's bulging. So I want to kind of pick where my middle is. Stick that down, and then I'm going to pull straight up because I want a straight line. Then push down towards the edges. All right. Okay. And I'm going to come in a little bit with my file and take that edge off, but I'll take the big part off. So now let's do the other side. You want to try to get your angle the same. Decide how thick you want that center black stripe. Stick that down and see if you just let it fall, see how it gets smaller at the top. So you kind of have to pull and really make sure it's straight, which I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to come and stick the edges. Pull at the top so you get a nice smooth, non-bubbled edge. And then use your tools to get those edges. I will clean up that later. So now you're going to do the same thing on the middle finger. The ring finger, I just used the Sahara Jewel. I started by cutting it in half. Okay, I'm going to put these back to back. And cut my angle here. So now this part's a little tricky. We're going to cut a really thin line. So it'll make like an outline shape. Very carefully. That piece, and then the edge here. So I'm going to take this X-Acto knife here. Come on to where you think the middle, closest to the middle of your finger, and offset just a touch. Uh-oh, it broke. Okay, I'm going to have to do that one again. Okay, try again. I got a little too thin. All right. Cut down. Center. And then this edge here. Okay, let's give it another shot. Pull it off the back. Like so. Let's try again. We're on this finger, the ring finger. Stick it down. And again, try to make it as straight as you can. Pull a little bit. There you go. So now we're going to do the other side. I'm going to cut this way this time, just because it's easier for me to cut when the thin part's on the left side of my scissors. I don't know why. It just is. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here. Hopefully it stays in one piece. And it was so nice and separated itself for me. That makes life a little easier. Okay. So I'm going to set this there. Oh, see, it broke anyway, but that's okay. Kind of wanted to push that up a little bit. So, and no one's going to know that broke except me and anyone watching my video. Alright, so get that stuck. Make it straight. So there you have that design on that now. Now, the pointer and the ring pinky are the same. So I'm going to come over here. I've got Midnight in Manhattan. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to use one on my pointer and one on my pinky. I'm not trying to be wasteful. Okay, in the center, there. And press it down. And pull up, stretch a little bit. Try to get that line as straight as you can and no bubbles. I'll come trim the edge in a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do the tortoise shell part. I like to use the same one again. My pointer's longer, so I'm going to measure that one. And then I'll use the extra on my pinky. So we're going to take our paper again, our Q-tip. Got our brown, just color it all over quickly while it's still wet. Blend. If you want to add the orange, come back and add some orange, a little more depth. And if that's too orange for you, then come back with your brown. Blend, blend, blend. All right, so there we go. Got our tortoise shell. And move my paper out of the way. We're going to cut in half. I'm going to stick this here. And there's my husband. All right, pull and smooth. For the last step, we're going to take our Sahara Jewel and do a thin line. And this is going to be our middle stripe between the two. That's going to give it a more professional, clean look. All right, so there you go. You've got your half and half. You have your Sahara Jewel design, and you have your thumb. And again, the thumb is the same as the middle finger, and the pointer's the same as the pinky. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you have fun making your own. Have a great day.